207customs.com is your hub for all your HVA-Chicks merch needs. If you guys are looking for a hat, a shirt with the HVA-Chicks logo, a tumbler, HVA-Chicks radio show, you name it, it's on 207customs.com. Use code HVAC10 at checkout.
Welcome, everyone, to tonight's HVA-Chicks radio. Tonight's fun. We're doing funny phone calls. So give us a little bit. We have the tech line number on the bottom of the screen. You're going to call in, and it's going to go to me, and I'm going to put you right here next to the microphone. We've already tested it out, and it's ready to go. So John's with me. Jen's on the background doing the backside of everything for us. So let's get this lovely show started. I'm going to start off with my one of my favorite funny phone service calls that I did years ago. And to this day, every time I talk to that customer, occasionally we still laugh about it. But the company I work for installed a new HVAC system. And yes, it's on the backside of everything doing stuff for us since Danny's sick. But yeah, we installed a system, and the customer called up one day and said the unit's making a noise that woke her up out of her sleep in the middle of the night. So I went over there, and I'm looking through everything, and I'm checking for tape joints vibrating, something. I can't find nothing. Several weeks go by, and she calls again. I'm on call. So I told her, I said, look, I'm on call. Just call me directly. Wife says, hey, you going to bed? I said, I just have a feeling I'm going to get a call from this person. Something's just not sitting with me on this. 10:30 rolls around. Phone rings. It's her. I said, good. Take it. Turn it down to cool and turn it down to 60 degrees. I get there, and it stopped making the noise. So I'm in her knee wall trying to find this noise. All of a sudden, I hear the noise, and she comes running upstairs. That's it. That's the noise. I come out and say, Kristen, the unit's dead. The disconnect's in my hand. It's not your unit. So I can hear this noise just going to town. I'm like, what the hell? And I look at her. I said, look. I said, you mind if I move this stuff here? She's like, yeah. I said, okay. I put my ear to the wall, and I can hear it. I look at her. I said, we're adults. I said, do you have any adult toys? And she's like, no, we don't have them. I said, okay. I said, do you mind if I look in this drawer here? She's like, go ahead. Because she had a nightstand right by her bed. I open up. I go, what's that? And in there was hers. And there was one about that long, just all over. She goes, oh my God. She goes downstairs, gets her husband, comes back up, hands it to him, and says, take care of your toy. And she's like, what should we do? I said, take the batteries out if you're not going to use it. It was his one. So she gladly paid the $50 diagnostic, was what we charged back then, and said, have a nice night. So, yeah. Boy. That was my fun one. And I would tell that story in school to students. And yeah. So you never know what's going to cause a problem and wake people out of their REM sleep, except for their toys.
Mine wasn't a service call, but it was when I first started. I was on an install, and it was before it was drywalled. So there's drywall sitting against the wall, and one of the drywalls had drawn pictures on the drywall. So I'm looking different pictures on different sheets. Well, the weight became too much and decided to pin me against the other wall because I was in a hallway. So I'm sitting there yelling, I'm stuck. I was working with my dad at the time. He's upstairs on the second floor. And he comes running down, laughing his ass off. He's like, what happened? I'm like, I was looking at the pictures, and it just came at me. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't get the sheetrock off myself.
Yeah, that's a lot of sheetrock that can happen. It's happened before in buildings and taking buildings down. You ever walk into an empty old house and you're there working and you go, I gotta use the bathroom, and you go to the bathroom and I'm talking like 1800s old house with those old doorknobs that have the screws in the side to hold them in place.
Yeah.
Went to the bathroom in one and pulled the door shut. When I pulled the door shut, the small knob, because the bar was from the outside in, came off of my hand. Like, all right, well, I gotta use the bathroom anyway. So I used the bathroom and I went to go put it back on there and the bar went bloop. I'm like, well, crap. So I called my coworker, Randy. Said, hey, Randy, you're on your way over here, right? He's like, yeah. I said, good. He's like, why? I said, I need you to come upstairs. He's like, what's up? I said, dude, I'm stuck in the bathroom. He started laughing. He's like, I said, just bring a screwdriver. Just come up here. He comes up there, opens the door. He's like, dude, how? I don't know. The handle came off of my hand.
Always gotta check those things.
Yeah. Check those old doorknobs. So, all right, everyone. So you got a funny story on HVAC that's good and everything. Call in one at a time. As soon as I'm done with this call, the next person can call in. Chicks Radio, this is Jimmy. Tell us your funny story.
Hi, HVA-Chicks Radio. I'm going to go anonymous on this one, if that's okay.
Yeah, right. That's okay.
Sure.
Right, are you ready? There'll be an anonymous on this one for me, obviously. Okay, so I go to this guy's house, right? And so I get to the door. It says that it's not blowing hard enough. That's the call. It's not blowing hard enough. And I'm like, okay. So I get there. I roll up, knock on the door. He answers, and he's wearing this tiny little, like, A-shirt tank top, right? And so he's like, oh, I didn't think they sent women out for these kinds of jobs. And I'm like, yeah, they do. Like, it's fine. And I'm like, I heard that your system's not. And he literally starts laughing. And I'm like, Jesus, oh my God, here we go. So I pull out the filter. It's caked, like disgusting. So I go and show him. And he's like, oh, it looks like that thing hasn't breathed since Obama. And I'm like, okay, well, that's weird. So now this is 3 weird things just as I'm showing up, right? So I go and check the blower motor because I'm sure that's also disgusting. He's behind me. He's literally like, oh, do you need water or a massage or anything? And I'm like, no, I just need you to back up before I charge you for emotional labor, right? Like, no, I don't say that. It's dangerous for you to be right here behind me while I'm doing this, like, whatever. And he's like, okay, so I checked the motor. It was over amping. I told him he needs a new one. I'm like, you didn't change your filter. You messed up your motor. Like, whatever. I literally go to walk out the door, and he goes, so is it blowing harder than you now? And I'm like, excuse me? He's like, oh, nothing. So I walk out, and I'm like, cooling off. I tell my boss, like, whatever. Apparently, this guy literally still wasn't blowing hard enough and to send that girl back. So all of these things were just like really innuendo-ish the whole time that I'm like in this guy's house alone. It was fucking terrifying, but it ended up being a really funny story that I get to tell. So that was fine. And then I had another one where I went to a Chinese restaurant, and actually Val was with me on this one. So we go to the Chinese restaurant for an install. Our boss sent us. At the time we were working for a company. And we had to replace the EVAP in a walk-in. So we ripped the old EVAP off. We pull it up, put it outside, like by the dumpster, because we have to remove it. Like, we can't just leave it there. So we leave it out by the dumpster. We put the new one in. It's like one thing after another with this thing. Just like, it doesn't want to come on. It's like literally troubleshooting city, and I don't even know why. But anyway, as I'm in there, the Chinese restaurant owner, the woman, comes in, and she starts yelling at my boss, women can't do this job. Why do you have her working here? Like, you can't have her in a walk-in box, like, putting up a system. That's so bad. It's like, you're treating her like dirt, blah, 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 blah. Put her in the office. And my boss turned around and looked at her and was like, she's my boss. What are you talking about? And this woman, her jaw dropped. Totally not true. My boss owned the company the whole time. But anyway, that was one funny part of it. The second funny part was we went to get the old walk-in EVAP to, like, load it up and take it out of there. And they had already taken it to the scrap yard. I'm talking in the hour we were wiring this thing up.
They had already loaded it up, taken it to the scrapyard. We're like, where's the old unit? They're like, oh, we don't know. Somebody must have stolen it. And we're like, okay, here comes her husband back like 20 minutes later, handing her a wad of cash. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is insane. But yeah, that's my 2 funny service calls to add.
There with the anonymity by saying someone's name. Gosh.
Yeah, I'm kidding. There's no anonymity when you have a voice like mine. Not happening.
No, not at all.
All right, guys, call into the line. I can't wait to hear your stories. Bye.
Lines are open. Call now. Operators are waiting. Please stand by. We're going to have too much fun with this tonight for the next 45 minutes.
It's going to be a great time.
Need some Jeopardy music going.
Fucking shit. Jennifer, you're one of them. Fucking stop it. Yeah.
So we all have these lovely calls. I know Tom's got some funny ones.
There we go.
Hello. Welcome to the Chicks Radio. Hey, turn the mic down on the speakers down your computer, Tom.
Yeah, I am. I'm turning it down. All I can hear is you now. You there, Jimmy?
I'm here. We got you. What you got?
All right, brother. This one happened when I was still running service calls. I get a call out one night for a no heat. I get to the house about 10 o'clock at night, ring the doorbell. Woman answers the door and tells her, the system's down, it's been down for, a day or so. And she just says, well, upstairs to the left is the master bedroom, go all the way to the back through the master bathroom into the back closet, the master bedroom, and pull downstairs to the attic are already pulled down for you. Okay, great. I'll let you know what I know as soon as I know it. After a few preliminary questions, when did it go down? What's the situation? All that. And she's just really quiet about the whole thing. She just said, "I just need somebody to take a look at it and tell us what we need to do." I get up to the top of the attic stairs, and I look, and there is a hole probably about a 2-foot diameter in the side of the house. Just a jagged hole. Ductwork is tore up all the way down. I'm looking at the furnace and coil and everything, and I'm like, the wires are torn up. There are animal traps everywhere in the attic.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, what in the hell is going on? So I set my bag down, go back downstairs, go all the way down to the first floor. She's in the kitchen. I look at her, I said, I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but do you realize you have a hole in the side of your house? And she goes, yeah, I kind of figured you'd see that, but well, let me tell you what happened. She goes, my husband, the idiot. Okay, now I'm hooked. And she goes, we had some friends over early this evening. And she goes, and we were all having dinner out back, a few beers, just yucking it up, having fun. And she goes, the true story is we've been having problems with squirrels in the attic. My husband's trying to catch them. We've had 2 or 3 companies out here, haven't been able to get them. Well, tonight after our friends went home and everything else, he goes upstairs. And he looks at me and he goes, I'm going to get me the squirrel tonight. She said, I didn't pay much mind to it. She said, I went ahead and did my business and everything else, and I crawl into bed and get comfortable. She said, about an hour ago, she goes, there's a gunshot, and I get scared right out of bed. And I'm on the floor. She says, literally, she said, I about peed myself. And her husband comes downstairs carrying a shotgun and going, I got the damn squirrel. She goes, what the fuck are you doing up there with a shotgun? And he says, I'm going to get me. He's about half drunk. I'm going to get me the damn squirrel. And that's all there is to it. Now, I hadn't seen him yet. He's still around the house there somewhere. But she goes, we blew a hole in the damn side of the house and plastered the squirrel to our neighbor's house. She said, the cops just left here a little while ago. She goes, we had neighbors all out in the street and everything else. She goes, they took the shotgun. She goes, we had to explain it to the cops and everything else, and they didn't believe us until they saw the hole in the side of the house. So as soon as the cops left, our neighbor comes over, and we just say, yeah, we're aware of it and everything else. And she said, anybody get hurt at your place? And it's like, no. She said, fortunately, they were the couple that was over at the house earlier when they were all drinking. And she goes, we'll take care of it. He's like, yeah, you will. And he went home. And a little while later, I show up for the service call. And she said the cops were there. And she said, when she told the story to one that stayed downstairs with her, and the other one went upstairs to investigate, when they went to switch places, the one downstairs was laughing so hard, she said, you got to listen to this story. And he just went upstairs to see the damage. There was a hole in the side of the house. Of course, they had to get fixed. They had shattered two of their neighbors' windows next door. The squirrel was plastered to the side of the house. The siding next door was all damaged. The ductwork was torn apart because he didn't hit it with any kind of solid shot. It was all buckshot. And tore up the ductwork, both plenum and maybe about 7 runs. Got all peppered with it. It shattered the wires, all the low voltage and high voltage wires going to the unit because they were dropped from the ceiling down to the unit. They ended up paying like about $3,000 and $3,500 somewhere around there, and just ductwork repairs and getting the unit up and running. But, I'm sitting there going, I ended up going back for several years for service, every 6 months. I sold the maintenance contract that night, but I ended up going back there, and every time I would go back there, and she'd just look at me and she goes, you're back again, huh? I was just a constant reminder for about 3 or 4 years.
As soon as
fast forward 12 years, I'm working at another company, and we get a service call out, and I'm like, I'm watching the service board going. I'm in management now, and I'm watching the service board, and that address just seems real freaking familiar to me. Well, tech goes out there and everything else, does his stuff, flips the system. It's about 15 years old, got a cracked heat exchanger. He said there were these strange holes that were patched over and on the evaporator coil. There's no leak there, but people decided they just want to go ahead with a new system. And so they went ahead and sent a comfort specialist out. Now I'm going, I have got to see this house. The address is just ringing in my head. It's ringing in my head, and I'm just like, I just can't place it. Our change-out crew goes out 2 days later, and I said, I'm going to go out there with the change-out crew. I get there about an hour after them. I pull up in the yard, and I'm there like, oh, shit. I walk up to the front door and hit the doorbell. She opens the door, and she looks at me, and she goes, oh, shit. And I said, having any squirrel problems lately? She's just like, totally, she thought by calling another company, she would avoid running into anybody she knew. And I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. It's a crazy world, Jimmy.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, as soon as he said he was going to get that squirrel, I knew exactly what was going on. Shotgun.
I mean, you can't make this shit up. I mean, I'm just going out there. I'm a service tech going to do my shit, Yeah, it was funny. I mean, you should have seen her reaction though when I rang that doorbell and she opened it up. 12 years after the fact, it had to have been that easily. And she just looked at me and she it recognized me right off the bat. Oh, no, I'm gray hair. I wear the whole 9 yards. I'm obviously 12 years older, but
who could forget that beautiful face?
I'm telling you, one thing people either hate to love me or love to hate me. One or the other, brother.
Oh yeah.
But that's about the funniest on the residential. I mean, we used to do all kind of practical jokes when I was running industrial. We would ramset toolboxes to the floor, do all kinds of crazy things. So, we had a guy one time. He went down a duck line, 36-inch round, companion flange, 1/8-inch steel duct. He gets all the way down to the end. He's supposed to be sealing it all on the inside, and he gets down there and decides he's going to take a nap. So once we found him a few hours later, we sealed up the end of the duct that he went into and then went down to the end where he was sleeping and beat the side of that duct with hammers. Of course, he can't see shit because he's got no light.
Oh, geez.
But his ears were ringing for 3 days.
Well, I appreciate the call in, Tom.
All right, bud. Get to some others.
All right, thanks.
Hey, Nasty, I'm pretty sure you got some good ones.
Oh yeah. All right, guys, we'll be back. We'll be back after a second from word from our sponsor.
If you're looking for quality, high-performance HVAC installation and service, reach out to Abraham Heating and Air. You can go to their website at abrahamheatingandair.com and book an appointment online. They are one of the best companies out there. They fully support HVA-Chicks Coalition and the HVA-Chicks radio show, and they are truly the place where quality meets comfort.
And we're back. Operator still standing by.
Next call coming in.
And I keep hearing some strange noises coming from outside. You know.
How we doing, Tom? Love to hear your story.
All right, who else has got a story? Nasty, you got one?
I know Brian has to have something. Come on, Brian, call in.
Jamie's down there in Hawaii. I'm sure she's got some Hawaii calls. I had a guy who trained me in oil from down there, and he told me the techs down there work once a day. Guys, you got a worse service call. Trying to think about one.
I want to hear a Hawaii call.
Yeah, come on. Let's see. I know I went to one call one time where the customer's like, "It's not cooling. It's not cooling." And I go to his thermostat, and he had the old Honeywell mercury bulb. He thought he had it from off to cool, and he had it half and half. I was like, click, and all of a sudden, unit came on. He was like, "What'd you do?" I said, "I turned it to cool." He goes, "I had it to cool." I said, "No, sir, you didn't. You had it in the middle. You didn't get all the way through."
I've been to so many like that. It's always, oh, I got no AC. You get there, it's either off or on heat. You got any fun? Yeah, you got any fun support calls? Oh, I know you got plenty. No names.
That's the problem with my tech support calls because I'm only on Fridays and Sundays, so it's kind of hard to. I deal with very few people on those days, and they would know it was me talking about them, so I really don't want to do that because I don't want to upset anybody. But I have. I did have a customer years and years and years ago when I was doing installs she was a bartender, and me and my helper were doing an install in her condo. And about halfway through it, she is sitting on the couch, just talking about how she wants to just take me and him right now back into the bedroom. By the time we finished, and we looked at each other and said, "Dude, you don't leave me in this house by alone." It's like, no, my wife would kill me. I said, "Yeah." I said, "Joey would kill me." And we, by the time we finished up, she was completely naked. Just, we got the hell out of there. That was like, nope, 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 nope. Get me out of here. I want nothing to do with this. We called the boss and told him what happened. He's like, "Do what?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're lying." I said, "Don't believe me. Call Willard." He called Willard. He called me back. He's like, "Dude, I don't know how you did it." I said, "I wanted to get that job done and out of there."
I do got elephants. I did go to the zoo. That was a good call. Working on the boiler.
Yes, I've heard stories from texts, like one lady, Asian lady, she'd always answer the door in this see-through negligee thing, and she would always demand that you would look straight at her, and you just couldn't because she's like see-through and naked.
Like you want to communicate, you can't stay locked eyes.
No. Ooh, here we go.
That's all.
HVAC-Chicks Radio, you're on the air.
Hi, it's Jamie from Maui. How are you?
Hawaii. Is it Hawaii or Hawaii?
Yeah. Well, it's either, really. I mean, I guess if you were speaking in the native language, a lot of the W's would say V. There's a lot of debate about it, but you can say either.
Brian, it's on the screen.
All right. So what do you turn your speakers down so you were not getting the reverb from John and you?
It's not on. Maybe I need to take it off speaker. Hold on. All right. Is that better?
I don't know. John, say something.
Hello.
All right. Yeah, I don't hear John in the background of the phone. You're good.
All right. So it's not like terrible. It was just like when I first started, one of my worst weeks ever. Like, I blew up mini split boards at 2 different places, and just such dumb things. And that, of course, had to go to the owner and tell them that, I blew up their board and I was working with the power on. It was so stupid. But I did that to 2 different people's systems, and then I stepped on a guy's PVC drain line up in the attic, all in the same week, all just boom, boom, boom. It was pretty horrible, like when I first started.
Oh, we've all had those mistakes.
Oh.
Yes.
At least you haven't fallen through the ceiling.
Like, really? No, I thank God, knock on wood, I haven't fallen through the ceiling. And just all the normal stuff like centipedes and, rats and all that kind of stuff, but nothing too crazy, really. Rough boat rides for sure. I get called out to another island and you have to take a boat over there. And sometimes you go out and it's just flat as it can be in the morning, but then the wind picks up and you come back, just total roller coaster ride. So stuff like that. But
the horror of having to ride a boat to a service call in Hawaii. God.
I couldn't imagine.
The agony it must be.
If it's really big, if it's really rough, it's not great. But most of the time, it's really great.
So I have to ask a question. So a guy who
Sure.
taught me oil years and years ago had a place down there, and he said he would go down there, and he said the guys down there would work like maybe 2-3 days a week because the pricing of the parts are so much because they be imported that they could charge so much more than what they would charge here. They would make their money for the week on 2 or 3 service calls, and then go to the beach and fish all day.
I don't know if that's the case anymore, but I mean, maybe if it's like, an independent guy, that might be true, because there is a huge markup and people are just used to it.
All right, so here's the deal, y'all. We're gonna load up with capacitors, contactors, relays, and stuff, and we're gonna ship it all down there and go down there and make a boatload of money.
There you go. Perfect.
So, thanks for the call, Jamie.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, who's in? Let's go down there and make some money.
I'm in. Let's go do it.
I think TSA would love to see our boxes, our luggage with all this stuff in there.
I don't want to see that, Brian. I'll pass on that one.
Are you talking? Brian? Are you gonna wear the Borat one?
Oh, that was lime green, wasn't it?
Well, they have them in yellow too. So.
Oh, okay. Jimmy's discount AC.
Hell yeah. Go pop a tent on the beach and live on the beach for a week and just make money.
There you go.
HVA-Chicks Radio, you're on the air.
Jimmy, Pete, John, this is Brian.
What's up, BS?
Brian.
No, not much. I got a couple. They're refrigeration, kind of gross ones. First one, when I worked for Next Tech, there is a store that we service that I'm sure everybody's been to because there's one about every 2 miles. The good old DG, and they had a beer cooler that was frozen up. And so anyways, I started going through it, found out the drain line was clogged up, which was then freezing the coil. So I take the cover off the bottom because it was a true unit, everything's on the bottom. And the drain pan is full. So I'm like, I got to get this drain pan emptied so that I can get this thing to drain again. And I slide it out very, very easy. And it looks like there is a rat laying in it. So I'm like, huh. I took my screwdriver to kind of move it out of the way so I had room to stick my little sump pump in there to get rid of the water. And the rat just disappeared. It was the body of the rat, and it had been in there for so long that and hadn't moved. It was just the outline of the rat in that wonderful beer cooler drain line goo. And yeah, that was pretty nasty. And the second one had to do with a overstock cooler that was used to store their milk. They put a call in that it wasn't cooling, and when I got there, the temperature inside of the cooler was about 80 degrees and was full of milk. And you can imagine the smell that came out of that when I opened up the door. Yeah. So I just looked at the manager and I said, you need to clean this out before I'm going to work on it. Well, don't you guys do that? No, I'm not housekeeping. You go ahead and clean that out, and then you let me know when you get that done. And so, well, it's only me here. It may take me a couple hours. And I said, well, that's fine. I'll be out in the van waiting on you. And the manager called her mother in, and I'm not kidding, called her mother in, 85-year-old lady, and told her, hey, I need you to clean that cooler out, and made her clean that cooler out so that I could work on it. But those are a couple of nasty ones. But that's it. I just wanted to call and support you guys and tell you a couple of my nasty stories.
Yeah, oh, jeez, I can't believe they did that to the mom.
Yeah, and I just, I told her, I kept apologizing to her mom. I was like, I'm so sorry that she's making you do this. Well, she's pretty lazy, and I'm like, yeah. I said, I'm just sorry. I just felt so bad for her, but I'm like, I don't get paid to do that, so
nope.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. I'm not, no, stupid don't pay the bills, but you can definitely charge for it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I will just wanted to call and let you know and give you a couple good stories. Hopefully nobody's hungry because that's probably might ruin their appetite. But anyway,
I got water in the milk, so I'm good there.
you guys have a good show, and I'll be in the chat.
All right, thanks, Brian.
All right,
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Z wants to call in. Z, come on, call in. Lines are open. Operators are standing by. Yeah, I went to a refrigeration one, my second refrigeration call, and it was a reach-in like table one, and the fan wasn't cooling. I open it up, and there's chicken wings, and there's just chicken juice all over the bottom of this thing. It's supposed to be a freezer, and it's all thawed. And I told the lady, I said, I'm not getting in there until all that's cleaned up. She's like, well, honey child, you had to do it because I ain't doing it. I got too busy to make these wings. I said, and she goes, she opens it up and grabs a bag of those warm wings and throws them in the batter and starts cooking them for a customer.
Nope. Oh, Jen, you didn't want to tell that story? That's a good one.
Hoarder houses are always fun, Jamie. I got one that we think that her dog died and it's somewhere in the house.
Oh, that's not good. All right. We got another caller.
After we do Z, we're gonna do another little
What about the
thing.
hoarder house? The room packed full of shit. I was supposed to clean the mini split. The lady said, I don't know how you're going to get that. Yeah, it's not fun. Can't get in there.
Are you dialing the right number, Z? It's not busy.
Eight 856-390-4055. Give it a call. There we go.
Come on, phone. Give me a second here. There we go. Your Chicks Radio. You're on the air.
Hi there.
What's your name? You can be anonymous.
Yeah, my name is.
You can be anonymous if you
Max.
want.
I'll share my name. My name is Max.
Hey, Max. So, what kind of story you got for us?
Yeah. So actually, I just kind of had a question first. My question was, do you respect Howard Stern's penis?
Do what?
Do you respect Howard Stern's penis?
I'm not understanding the question.
You don't respect Howard Stern's penis, yes or no?
Not understanding what you're saying. It's kind of staticky.
Okay, well, I was just saying if you respect Howard Stern's penis.
If you,
Yeah.
not a call.
Jen, do me a favor. Remove him and block him.
Wow. Okay.
That was Z.
So HVAC doctor had an expansion tank take off like a rocket ship as a first-year apprentice. Can't say I haven't had that happen. Didn't release the pressure on the boiler and had it shoot off on me.
Yep, that's who it was. All right, Jen. Well, it's 9:40. You want to do the sponsor ad real quick?
Cielo Wi-Fi thermostats are the HVA-Chicks choice for all your mini split and conventional split needs. If you're not sure which Wi-Fi thermostat to choose Cielo.
Sorry about that last caller. He's obviously a troll.
Yeah, that wasn't the type
I
of
mean,
call we needed.
no, it was static. He kept breaking up. I'm like, what are you saying?
Coolest job I was on, definitely the zoo, working right next to the elephants. I got a video of it, but I can't really share that right now. It's on my phone.
Let's see, the coolest one I've been on. Yeah, not even a good troll. I've been
No,
on
it wasn't.
quite a bit of good ones. We got a customer. I would say he is probably the most laid back man out there that we deal with. How many of y'all have heard of Duke's Mayonnaise?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
I guess staple down here.
So Duke's Mayonnaise was owned by Sours Company. Sours Brand Company is based in Richmond, Virginia, owned by the Sours family. We had a guy who worked for them for 20. He worked for us and worked in their plant as their person, and they'd pay us for his time and everything else. But Bill, that man was Mr. Sours' right-hand man, and Bill told me a story that for his, I think it was like 60th birthday, his wife got Hank Williams Jr. to come play at his 60th birthday on their property by the river. Now,
Wow.
how cool is that? I mean, he's got a house on stilts at the river, the James River by me, that we had to go out there and do work on the stuff, but he's got other properties. And, you know, the family's cool as can be. We do there's a place I have been to that is now a wedding resort. It is a castle. Okay, it is out in Goochland, by me. They have 37 geothermal units throughout the house. The master bathroom is a 2-story spiral staircase bathroom with the walk-in closet upstairs and the bathroom downstairs. They have thrones in the house. They've got 2 industrial kitchens in there. So yeah, that place was cool. They got a wine cellar as big as my basement.
The coolest houses I worked in were always up north, working in the mansions. I actually worked in a few of the Boston Bruins players' houses.
I know I was talking with Lauren. She works in a guy's place that she can't tell me. She's told me the name, but I can't repeat the name. But she's worked in his place, and the cars, and it has security gates she has to go through to get in. And they know who she is, so she's able to take her van and pull it right into the garage. In the garage, there's cars on lifts over top of cars. It's insane.
That's awesome.
Lauren is pulling a shift at the vet tonight. I talked to her yesterday about this, and she said she's got to work the vet shift tonight. So she would call in, but she's at the vet.
Worst install? I've seen some installers. Brand new install. We go out to it for a service call, and they're wondering why there's water leaking down onto the second floor from the attic. So we're inspecting it, and all of a sudden we look, and they disconnected the secondary drain pan and didn't cap it off. So both the main drain and the secondary drain tied in together at one point, and we're just dumping down into the second floor. I don't know what they were thinking on cutting it and not capping it off, but that's just not fun.
I went to one where the people had installed a system, and they called in and said, "Hey, we had this come out here and installed a system, and now it's not working." And they say they can't come back out till Monday, and it's it's like 90 degrees outside. I'm on call. I go out there. I go in the crawl space, open the crawl door, and massive amounts of cold air just hitting me in the face. I'm like, okay, well, I know why it's not cool in the house now. I get in there. There was about a 12-inch transition between the coil and the ductwork of cardboard and tape.
No way.
Yep. No insulation, just cardboard and tape. I guess they were planning on coming back Monday or whatever. They ran out of metal. Who knows? Or they said screw it. But yeah, she never had them back. I went to. I was able to. I had some sheet metal on my truck. I was able to fix it for her temporarily. And I was like, look, I need it. This needs to be made properly. I said, I got you some kind of cooling fix now. But yeah.
Yeah, it's not something you see every day.
No, I've seen as an inspector, I've seen some horrific things. One company took flat sheet metal and rolled it to be a piece of 4-inch pipe to make the connection to the B vent. I went to go feel for the screws in the backside because I saw those 2 screws in the front would feel, like to feel for the third, and I had a meat hook. I was like, "What the hell?" So I looked up and saw that, and yeah, I see. Yeah, give it a second. So I took my phone and put it back there, and took a picture of it. Picked the phone up and called the contractor up, and I knew the install manager, and I said, "Dude, this is what I got." He's like, "What?" I sent him a picture. He's like, "I'll have a guy there right now."
That's atrocious.
Yeah.
Hi guys, I just wanted to pop in so that I can do the sign off for you guys and with you guys.
Hey, hey everyone, this is anonymous. That's anonymous. You can't tell that's anonymous.
Fail major.
You got, hi, yes, I'd like to call in.
No, so this is not Jennifer.
Something.
First of all, these calls are hilarious, you guys. Oh, Lil, you can still call. We're not signing off yet. We got 10 more minutes.
We got time, girl.
We
Come
got
on,
time,
bring
baby.
it to me.
Give
Bring
us a
it to me.
call. We want
Need
your
the
best
calls.
HVAC stories. You guys, they do not have to be funny. They can be like, oh my God, I puked, like Brian's. They can be whatever. We have some seriously crazy shit happen. I wanted to hop on real quick because I wanted to tell a tech support story. I told this to the guys in Saturday Hangout this morning. But so basically I had a call and these guys are like, I can't bring down my superheat on this compressor change out. And I'm like, okay, it's low, whatever. So that's fine. And they're like, well, no. So my vapor saturation is 48 degrees and my superheat is 101. And I'm like, no, it ain't. Where are you testing? You know, this is where I go to. And then the compressor starts equalizing. And I'm like, what did you do? Like, what is your refrigerant? And they're like, oh, so about that. It was R22 and we changed it out for 407C in an air conditioner. And I'm like, well, first of all, you can't do that. Second of all, I'm like, I mean, you can, but you have to know how to read your pressures and temperatures at that point because you're not reading them like you are R22. So then it comes out that they did all of this in a 410 compressor. They replaced the R22 compressor with a 410 compressor and dumped in 407. So they're like, what do we do? I'm like, you call your boss. You tell them that your boss owes them a compressor, a metering device, and possibly a new unit, and that you're not taking the rap for that. So yeah, that was my best tech support one of this week. I mean, there are good ones every week, as we all know. But
oh yeah,
that was
bad.
Yes, we have a call. You're on live with Chicks Radio.
I don't know. Do I have to let Jennifer carry on with her story?
No.
Oh, we're good. We're done.
All right. Well, we're going to cut Jennifer off right now because she told the doc to call on in with some stories.
Yes. Come on, Matt. What you got?
Oh, well, let's hit you up with a... I'm laughing at Jen's arms up with this one. Let's hit you with one that I can actually share.
All right.
So probably about a year or so ago, I got sent out to a controls retrofit upgrade on a package rooftop unit for a brand that everybody knows that I work on. And this one was a special one because it was on a pork slaughterhouse facility. And
the apprentice I had at the time was especially sensitive to odors and also, well, just the situation that we were sent into. So the time we rolled into the site, we were told to roll in with all of the transport trucks that were transporting swine into the facility and roll around to the back shop where we're going to meet the facilities operations manager. Well, as we were rolling around the back of the shop, this was a hot summer day. Like, we're talking around about 89 degree F and just a humid day in Ontario, Canada. So we're rolling around the back to get to the maintenance shop, and the smell of swine is just potent on the transport trucks. And as we roll around the back, you just hear the squeals of swine getting offloaded from the transport trucks to be led to slaughter. And come around the corner to drive to the maintenance shop, and my apprentice sees a trucker with a probably about 6-foot cattle prod just shocking swine off of the trucks and squealing. Like,
Oh my
you can't
God.
get that sound out of your head at all whatsoever. So we parked by the maintenance shop, and he is white as a ghost.
Whoa.
Well, you got to climb up this ladder and rope all your materials up. And, you know, once you're up that ladder, well, you got to go up this other ladder. Well, the first ladder, once you get up that, well, there was an air vent that was venting out the odors of, if you've ever boiled ribs at your house.
Oh my God.
Boiled ribs. That was that multiplied by about 1,000.
Oh
My
God.
apprentice was gagging coming up the ladder. And, yeah, he couldn't contain it. But it got worse.
Oh no.
So once we got up that ladder and got all the materials up, we had to go up a second ladder. And from that second ladder, you could view a transport truck that, if you've ever seen dairy transport trucks with the cylinder, like giant transport cylinder on the back that would carry milk. Mm-hmm. Well, this one was one of the ones that was going to carry fluid, but it was all the fluids of slaughter that were coming out of the production facility. And,
yummy.
Not only could you smell that along with the boiled ribs, there was a gentleman just hacking darts next to the transport truck being filled with these lovely fluids. That's when my apprentice went from white to green. And he's like, do we really need to carry on with this? I'm like, well, we got to at least look at the rooftop unit. We got to upgrade.
Right.
Put everything to the unit. We had to upgrade. And by that point, I had gotten an extreme headache, not only from the aroma of the facility, but just from what my apprentice was going through. At that point, I called the office and said, you know what? I know you need us to do this upgrade, but no, you're going to need to send us in winter when the aroma is not so bad.
Yeah.
And,
oh my God.
Somebody with someone who doesn't have such a strong gag reflex. He almost fell down a ship's ladder while puking on this one.
I've had an apprentice like that just could not stop
HVA-Chicks,
gagging.
Coalition that I can actually share for you.
That's I think you win.
That was a great story.
The story of the night.
Sweet, I expect some HVA-Chicks Coalition swag sent my way from Jennifer.
That's right. That's right. It's on its way. We'll get it out to you. You are the best, Maddie. Thank you for your call. Thank you
all y'all, and keep up the awesome work with the HVA-Chicks radio. We got some awesome stuff that I got to collab with Jennifer about coming up, and we'll keep this thing rolling. You guys keep up with the awesome work, and we'll talk soon, everybody. Cheers.
All right, thanks, Matt.
Bye, Maddie. Oh God, I can literally picture it because I've had an apprentice like that just had a way too strong gag reflex, and with just like every rung, it was like.
I can smell it.
Hey, Shortcut from Renee. Love it. You guys, this has been an awesome episode. I love the call-in episodes. We're going to do these all the time. Do you have another call, Jimmy?
I don't have another call. I just
I thought you were putting it up there because you had another call.
Oh, that's my cousin Dave. Hello.
Yeah, I think that's your Renee guy, isn't it, John?
That's my cousin.
Hey, cousin Renee guy.
Does he work for Renai?
Yeah.
He does.
Oh, does cousin from Renai have a funny story of tech support or something that he's done that he can share?
You love
Sure
Renee.
does.
If you want to call in, you got 4 minutes. But we have had some really great ones tonight.
Call in.
You know, the worst part is that like tomorrow we're all gonna wake up and be like, wait, why didn't I tell that one?
Yeah, it's just we all. I mean, there's so
Osvaldo,
many.
you guys, let's talk about this. Osvaldo Acosta, he says, now I don't feel alone when I see crazy stuff in my country as well. And I guarantee you have seen the craziest out of all of us, Oz. By far.
Dave is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. It's 856-390-4055.
Yep. And that's also our tech support number, you guys. Take it down if you don't already have it. We're just tying up the tech support line with our shenanigans tonight.
And it hasn't rang all day anyway.
I know. It's been so slow because it was my day. Woohoo!
Hey, I've had Fridays like that.
It's on Jimmy's day.
I know, right? Oh, God.
Oh, I forgot. The next day I had a BLT for breakfast.
Didn't bother Maddie one bit. Oh, my God. This is great. We got to do more call-in episodes. This is amazing. I love it. There's no less than 10 I can tell next time, Josh says. I'm sure, Josh. I saw people calling you out just when you shared it today.
So my niece won her ball game.
Oh, here we go.
Hi, you're live on the air with HVA-Chicks Radio.
So you guys want some stories about tech support?
Well,
the biggest issue is the fact is that there's people we'd love to sit there and say, dude, do me a favor, put your tools down and go home. Because some of the scary stuff that you see is unbelievable.
I've wanted to say that several times.
Same.
So, but we can't. I mean, that's the downfall about being tech support. We try our best to help people out. I think the other thing too is when it comes to the industry, there's too many people these days that are just because they're a warm body that they're hired, taught real quick, and just thrown to the wolves.
Amen.
So a lot of times when you're dealing with people in the tech support, when they say, "Hey, I'm new, can you help me out?" So you got to put the kid gloves on and take them down a different road. But when you deal with a 30-year person who's been in the field for that long, try to say, "I don't need a manometer, and I don't need this, and I don't need that." It's disheartening. It's very, very disheartening.
Yeah, and it happens way too often.
Big bucks for that work.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
I can show you pictures of venting inside people's houses, and I think it's perfectly fine. I can show you indoor units being outdoors, and let's just say I could probably give a full day's class on just pictures, just showing you, what's wrong with this, what's wrong with that, and everyone would be different.
You should do that. Come into the HVA-Chicks Coalition and show us one.
Yeah, this is tech support. So here's a quick question for you. I've got R22, and should I go to that new stuff? I'm seeing way too many things basically blowing up or burning up.
No.
Stay with your 22.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I've got a 30-pound bottle basically in my garage.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Bring back R22.
Oh, so how's John doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I lose you?
No,
he can't hear John. He can't hear any of us but Jimmy.
I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you have to listen to John through YouTube. He said he's doing great.
Oh, okay. Good. Excellent. I hope he is basically doing great. But yeah, like I said, all we ask, if anybody who calls tech support, have the front cover off, have tools in hand, and check your gas pressures. Probably one of the biggest calls we get is on it's actually installation related. More than 60% of the first calls we get on a daily basis is brand new installs who just don't do it right.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So, But it looks like it's
Jimmy,
10
thank him
o'clock
for
here.
calling from us because he can't hear us.
Yeah. So yep. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. But yeah. But thanks
Thank you
for
for
calling
calling,
in.
No problem. No problem at all. You guys have a great night.
And
Keep this up. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, we should get with Jen and me or John. We should get you in on a Saturday for a training class on basics of Renai.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. If not, what I'll do is I'll get John. Basically's got my information. Just give me the town, and what I'll do is I'll have the local rep get a hold of you guys and actually bring people training to you.
Gotcha.
If that's okay.
Yeah, we can get with John.
All right.
So I appreciate it. Thanks, Dave.
I wish you guys well. You guys be safe.
Bye.
All right. So thank you so much, Dave, for calling in. That was great. So I am going to address the elephant in the room because you asked Sam. Sam's comment is, Jen, can you say anything about the elephant in the room? Yeah, I can say anything about it. What I'm going to say publicly is that it was not my choice to give up Misfits of HVAC podcast. I never would have done that in a million years, even if I was alone in it. But Ryan made that choice for me, and that had to be his choice. I don't know what his reasons were, other than specifically he told me several times over the past few months, I hate this show. So that's the best I can do. But I know that I was not giving up this time slot because it's what you guys are used to and it's what you show up to. And I know that we were going to make this show bigger and better in every way because there are no weird, funky rules that we have to follow over here. We can just do whatever the hell we want. So we're going to do more call-in episodes, more giveaways. We're going to have more sponsors. We're going to have sponsor giveaways. Like, this is going to be a killer show, you guys. So just keep tuning in. And that elephant in the room is no longer an elephant. It's over. It's gone. It's done. And all we can do is move on. I'm really, really glad, though, Sam, that you found us here because all of those listeners, all those guests, they're all welcome here, 100%, forever. This will never end. We will have different hosts all the time. Jimmy and John are my staff, and they're just like, let's do this episode. Let's do it. And you guys are calling in. I mean, like, it could not be better. I could not be happier right now with this. I think sometimes the door closes so that a whole bunch more can open, and that's where we're at here. So,
And we're all approachable.
Jennifer, you're one of them.
And if you ask Gene Slade.
Yeah. No, we're
got
all
your 4 quarters
approachable.
today?
Yep.
Yeah,
we will have the calls routed to PC next time. Danny was dead today,
Yes.
so I let him die peacefully, and I took over. Is what happened. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close out the show. We are past time, which I am just so happy about. I'm so happy you guys are here.
Time is of the essence. We all have phone here. We do this.
Right? We'll all stay on a job site for 12 hours, but don't want to go over on an hour show. So we're going to go ahead and close this out with a commercial from our sponsors. Thank you guys for being here. We'll see you every single Saturday night. We got training every Saturday during the day, and we have tech hangout at 10 a.m. every Saturday morning. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. You guys are the real MVPs. Not a single one of us would be here without y'all. And go home and tuck in your crotch goblins. Want to kill 99.9% of contagions in commercial and residential spaces without creating ozone? Check out the Air Shield by Revive Air. Thank you, Revive Air, for supporting the HVA-Chicks radio show.